Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, April 18th City Council meeting. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Alderman Santee.
Here.
Alderman Glad.
Here.
Alderman McClatchy.
Here.
Alderman Harding.
Here.
Alderman Stratt.
Here.
Alderman Devine.
Here.
Alderwoman Miller. Here.
Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I call a public hearing, call to order a public hearing for the proposal fiscal year 22-23 budget at 7:01 p.m. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a public comment regarding the public hearing portion? See none? I am looking for a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Alderman Stratt? Motion. Alderman Miller?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Stratt.
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller. Yes. Alderman Devine.
Yes.
Alderman Harding.
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Santee.
Yes. Thank you, Council. I'm looking for a motion to adopt the fiscal year 22-23 budget. Alderman McClatchy?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Stratt?
Second?
Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderman Stratt.
Yes.
Alderman Devine.
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller. Yes. Alderman Harding.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Santee.
Yes. Thank you, Council. Next item on the agenda is public comment. At this time, we'll call you individually up to make a public comment. We'd ask that you keep it to 3 minutes or less. First is Heidemann. Can you please step up to the podium? Please state your address and name for public record, please.
My name is Celeste Heidemann, 3504 Broad Street, McHenry, Illinois, 60052. Okay, can you hear me? All right.
Sorry, go ahead. I think we can all hear you.
Already? Okay,
It's as good as it's gonna get, sorry.
it's okay. Okay. Mayor Jett, City Council, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Celeste Heidemann. I am one of the proud 10 children of Donald and Rosalie Doherty. Allow me to say a few things about Donald P. Doherty. It saddens us to hear that there is a 10-year limit on honorary street signs. My father was the mayor of McHenry for 12 years and served on the McHenry County Board of Supervisors for 20 years. It has been said that Donald did not just live in McHenry, but live for McHenry. Let me share with you an article that Bill Bolger wrote on December 17th, 1997. Donald Doherty didn't enter politics for the glory or the credit. His satisfaction was in helping people and to see children playing in the parks and people finding jobs in McHenry County. Thank you, Don, for a job well done. In closing, I would hope that you might consider renewing the honorary sign for 10 more years or applying some other form of recognition. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ronald Friend? Once again, please state your name and address for public record. Thank you.
Ronald Friend, 4806 West Glenbrook Trail, here in McHenry. I just like to echo what she just said. I had no idea that at the time my honorary sign was put up that it was a temporary appointment. My grandfather was sitting in a room like this for 13 years as an alderman and 12 as mayor. So that coupled with being on the library board for 50 years, being an active member of the hospital. He was the board president for many years. He's the one who was responsible for getting it from downtown and setting that one up first and then going to where it is now. So I don't think we should be looking at people getting these signs temporarily, especially the people that pass all the requirements that are on that application. Furthermore, I'd like to know, I guess, how many intersections we have at McHenry and what percentage these honorary signs are actually being posted at. And if it requires, maybe a stricter requirements, then so be it. But I think we need to really think about these people that we're talking about and how much they earn those signs. So, thank you for your consideration.
Is there anyone else from the public that would like to make a public comment? If so, you please step up to the podium.
I'm not a good speaker. Anyway, my name is Mary Kay Walter, and I live on 3420 Broad Street, right by the park. And I always was so proud of McHenry when they said, our character is our destiny. And these people are really the destiny and character to show what McHenry was all about. There's some signs up there, I don't know those people, but there's some people that outstandingly, we know, everybody was born and raised here. And I think we should honor them for as long as we possibly can. I think it'd be kind of disgraceful for that thing. Our characters are just our destiny if we take their names down. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others that would like to make a public comment? All right, see none. Moving on with the consent agenda, items 7A through 7I. Is there any council members willing to pull any items for separate consideration? Alderman Santi?
Would like to pull consent agenda item 7D and 7C just for individual voting.
Sure, thank you. Any others? See none. I am looking for a motion to approve 7A, 7D through I. Alderman Miller?
I'll make that motion to approve 7A, D through I as presented.
Thank you. Alderman Harding? Second. All right, discussion on these items? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Miller? Yes. Alderman Harding?
Yes.
Alderman Stratt?
Yes.
Alderman Devine?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderman Santi?
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Item pulled 7B by Alderman Santi, fiscal year 2022 and 2023 liquor license renewals effective May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023, as presented, conditioned upon the receipt of all paperwork and fees. Alderman Santi?
I would just like to make the motion as an individual agenda item to approve 7B as presented.
Thank you. Second? Alderman McClatchy?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. Discussion?
No, I appreciate the time that Mr. Johnson, our deputy clerk, spent with me today in regards to getting some information, but I thank him and ready to move forward.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santi?
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderman Harding?
Yes.
Alderman Stratt?
Yes.
Alderman Devine?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller? Yes.
Thank you, Council. Next item that was pulled by Alderman Santi was 7C, fiscal year 2022-23, video gaming license renewals effective May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023 as presented, conditioned upon the receipt of all paperwork and payment of fees. Alderman Santi, will you make a motion?
Yes, I will make a motion to make the motion for 7C as presented.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Harding?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Discussion? Alderman Santi?
Just a couple things, make sure, the highlighted ones at the end, I think it's 36, 41, and 43 and 44. So they have to do all the paperwork, their payments and everything for the year, and we really have no knowledge of how quickly or how much more time it's going to take for them to get the gaming license. We have no information on that.
Sure, yeah. So we approved them all and they're ready to go. But the state, it started with COVID, the state started taking forever to get these done. The state had employees working from home. So it was a long process for a lot of these people to get approved through the state. And they have to go to the state's gaming board, just like they come here, and it's a big process. And so a couple of those are almost a year, they've still been waiting to get video gaming. And it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason. Some are getting them within a few months, a couple from waiting a year. So it's just, and you can go to their website, you can see the pending ones. There's no reason why they're still pending, they're just sitting there pending. And I wanted to highlight those, so in case the council or the public went to the gaming reports and were looking for them, and you're like, they're not on here, but we approved them, what's going on? I didn't want you to think, I made an error, I was stupid or something, you know what I mean? So I wanted to give you a highlight that, yeah, we did approve them, but they're just still waiting for their terminals in the state. So we have no idea or no control over when they get going.
And the maximum we can license is 6 per location, correct? Right. And what percentage of our facilities have 6?
Exactly 50% of our people we've approved have the 6 terminals. Yep, and that includes a couple of them that are still pending, that are still waiting for
I
the
see
state.
that number, yep.
Yep.
Get that right now. All right, no further questions, thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santi,
Yes.
Alderman Harding,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy,
Yes.
Alderman Schreck,
Yes.
Alderman Devine,
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller. Yes.
Thank you, council. Individual action items, 8A, I need a motion to approve a Class A liquor license to Green Street Tavern located at 1259 North Green Street, and if approved, pass an ordinance amending Title 4, Chapter 2, Alcoholic Liquor, Section 6, license classification and fees, approval authority, limitation on number of licenses. I'm looking for a motion and a second. Alderman Strack.
Motion as presented.
Thank you. Second. Alderman McClatchy. Second. Discussion on this item? See none? Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a public comment regarding this item? See none? Come back to council. Any other questions, comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Strack,
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy,
Yes.
Alderman Santi,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman Harding,
Yes.
Alderman Devine,
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller. Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item is 8B. I need a motion based on the city council approval of 8A, the motion to approve a video gaming license to Green Street Tavern located at 1259 North Green Street. Alderman Miller.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Second. Alderman Santi.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on this item. Alderman
Just
Santi.
real brief on both the liquor license and the game license for Green Street Tavern, correct? It's a family that's been invested in the community for over 30 years, and I applaud them for reinvesting even more into the community. So we'd like to see that. We've seen that before over the last few years, where as a community, we must be doing something good with these businesses because they're coming back and reinvesting. So I applaud the Arcos family for doing this and looking like they're doing a fine job in that building. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Anyone from the public that would like to make a public comment regarding this item? See none? Council? Any questions, comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Miller. Yes. Alderman Santi,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderman Harding,
Yes.
Alderman Strack,
Yes.
Alderman Devine.
Yes.
All right. Next item on the agenda is executive session. We would ask if the general public would leave the room for executive session regarding property acquisition, and then we'll let you back in. We'll probably be about 10 minutes or so. So if you wouldn't mind stepping out, we apologize, and then we'll go ahead and let you in here shortly. Thank you. Look for a motion in a second to enter executive session. Alderman Strack.
Motion.
Alderman Harding. Second. You got that?
I was Strack and then Harding.
Harding.
Yes. Thank you.
Clerk, please call the roll. You can call the roll when you're ready.
Okay,
I don't know if you're waiting on me or something.
I was.
Here. Here.
Alderman Strack,
Here.
Alderman Devine,
Here.
Alderwoman Miller. Present.
Hmm? Yeah. Is everyone in? Yeah? All right, sorry about that. Before, we're in the mayor's comments here, and I'd just like to explain a little bit in regards to how this, the sign, concerns. We know that there's a concern with the signs. Staff and I have had conversations. We're gonna be putting on the agenda for May 16th to have a discussion item, because we cannot communicate back and forth. It's not on the agenda. So just so you know how that works. There might be some council members giving some comments tonight, but once again, there's no interaction back and forth. So, we'll put it on the agenda for May 16th and bring it back to council for consideration on discussion item and what they want to do with it. So at that time, then we can go ahead and kind of get an idea of where all the council members stand on this. Obviously, it was voted for 10 years, to remove them. And I know there's concerns about that, and we are listening to that. And we've also considered different locations for the signs, or different ways that we can, but ultimately, it's not mine or staff's, we gotta bring it to the council and let them decide what they'd like to do with this. So May 16th, we'll have it on the agenda as a discussion item. You're more than welcome to come to that meeting. I would highly suggest it, and speak up, and we can also interact on that item as well. Okay? So I just wanted to explain that, okay? So thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
City council comments. Alderman Santi?
No, we will come back and have an open discussion in May, as the mayor just mentioned. And I would like to say that I had received some conversations from a few people in the crowd today. I appreciate them calling. It's always good to come up and voice your opinion. It's one thing, it's number one, to come to the podium, that's the best. Number two, to communicate with us on this side of the table. We do listen, and I do like to keep my discussion very open, and I do like to bring out pros and cons. And I did that, and I found out a couple of, answers I felt internally that maybe will occur in May, but once again, it's up to the council of 7 here. Is that I, as one, am open-minded to definitely taking a hard look at this and see exactly what adjustments could very well be made. And number two, it is, there are some names that very much distinguish themselves as very, very key to the growth of the city. And I see that, and I recognize that. And I've been able to recognize that over the years. So it's something that just kind of taps you on the shoulder one day and you're there. So it's definitely a conversation I want to have, and I want to try to get as comfortable as possible with everyone. No one's going to get everything they want here at the council level, but I appreciate, and I once again thank you very much for coming in tonight, and look forward to our discussion in May. Thank you.
Alderman Patrick.
Yeah, I'd like to echo what Alderman Sandy just said. Those signs represent a lot of history in McHenry, and we have to look into that. Also, I'd like to just give copies of ordinance.
Yeah.
Maybe give it to everybody.
Thank you. Alderman Gladstone.
Yeah, just to reiterate a little bit of what was said, but also to expand on a few things, and that's the fact that when we did vote to take the signs down, there was a lot of discussion, and staff assured us that we would be discussing an alternative of where to move those signs to, so that it would be in a very prominent area in the city. And comments from the public of where they felt it could go be a good thing too. Because one of the reservations of leaving signs up like that, number one, if you give out too many signs, and that's why we limited them, it takes away from, the prestige of even having the sign. And if you have it out there too long, it winds up to where you could wind up with several names on the same intersection. And like I said, the whole idea of the program when we first started it was to honor people within the city, and we want to make sure that that continues. But we also want to make sure that the sign program, street sign program, doesn't go by to where, how would you put it? It just gets worn out to where it doesn't mean much, because it should mean something. And again, so yeah, there would be a lot of discussions, but again, if you have different ideas of where those signs could go, you know, and how we could use them afterwards, I'm sure everybody, including staff and the mayor, would like to know. Thank you.
Alderman Miller?
I just want to thank you all for coming. I also received several phone calls this week about the honorary street signs. So I'm glad to see that we're having discussion and putting it on the agenda for May 16th. I think in preparation for that, if we could come up with a few ideas of what a permanent placement would look like, maybe Bill and Troy could come up with some thoughts and ideas of what physical spaces we would have available, that would help us in discussion on the 16th. Because I think the phone calls that I received were clearly understanding that these were a perpetual sign, and when we read the ordinance, I got the ordinance from Troy, it's clearly 10 years without renewal, but they do need to have a prominent place somewhere in our community. And now that our community is growing and the venues are changing, I couldn't list all the prominent places, so I'm gonna rely on staff to give us some ideas as to where they are. So if I can ask that to maybe the two of you put your brilliant minds together and come up with some incredible locations that would be as honorary, but yet somewhere that's suitable, I would love to see the list.
Troy's a brilliant mind, just to be clear.
I was gonna say that, but.
I'm just a pretty face.
Okay.
No, we'll certainly bring some ideas back. Staff and I have had conversations, Troy and I as well, so, you know, we'll bring some ideas back and have that discussion. Sure.
So, I also wanted, are you gonna expand?
No, go ahead.
So, Alderman Sean called me earlier today about the food truck thing. And we had, a lot of conversation about how that's going to impact existing businesses and other sales. And of course, we had that conversation about that's a different buyer than somebody who's gonna walk into Bimbo's and have an hour lunch, or somebody who's gonna walk into Miller Diner. As a food truck girl, you know, it's a grab and go and eat it in your car, because it's a 5-minute moment. But we still have some concerns about how many and how often, and we reread the minutes or reread your email.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 to 2 trucks per day, every day.
Correct.
From 11 to 2 and 4 to 8.
Correct.
Is that 7 days a week?
7 days.
Okay.
There'll be an agenda supplement coming for a special use request that must be approved.
Okay. So we'll get more information?
Yeah. Well, it'll be laid out in a special use form. The first meeting in May was my plan to bring that forward. I didn't want to put that on.
Okay.
With all this other.
Okay. And then we also asked about the money. Obviously, there's gonna be some money generated there.
Correct.
And not speaking for Sean, but we said if that money is being generated at Miller Point, it should be reinvested in Miller Point. And we'd love to somehow earmark that, you know, still your budget, your department, but it's not a lot of money, even if you're sold out every day for 120 days.
It adds up quick. It would be nice to put that back into like a Parks Developer donation, which is where the bulk of the funds from that park.
Yeah, so just some thoughts from.
I mean, Miller Point's gonna need a lot of money anyway, so I don't think it's an issue earmarking that.
Right, I mean, that's really where, and Sue and I's conversation was exactly that, like, if we're gonna do that, then let's make sure that that money's staying in that park.
Sure.
Make really cool bathrooms.
Right.
Or really awesome picnic tables, you know, so it's not grab and go. But again, just expanding the thoughts that we've already had. Thank you.
And it'll be May 16th on that as well, because we have 2 council members that are gonna be gone for the first week, so if you put that, can we put that on May 16th?
It's your agenda.
Yeah, I know,
Tell me.
I know it's my agenda. Is it a time issue with them, or May 16th, all right? I'd rather have all council members here present to make that decision, so. All right,
But they are homeless April 30th, right?
Correct. They are homeless April 30th.
So are you moving forward with them?
I will not move forward without council's consent.
is that one, is it better for the first week? When we have that conversation.
Okay.
And what, the council members that are gone get their
Yeah,
thoughts on it.
if there's any other input that council has, before that, just call me, shoot me an email, whatever, and I can either tweet that supplement or we can,
Send
hopefully iron out some details.
send comments to the mayor, and we can
Yep.
at least have it handled.
That works beforehand, that works, we can put it on the first week, okay. All right, any other city council comments? See none? All right, looking for a motion to adjourn. Alderman Santi,
I'll make that motion.
second, Alderman McClatchy,
I'll second it.
thank you, clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Santi.
Yes.
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Harding.
Yes.
Alderman Strack.
Yes.
Alderman Devine.
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller.
Thank you, everyone, have a good night.